So, art fight's coming soon, and you guys probably don't know what that is. So I'm gonna show you guys what art fight is all about. What is art fight? Art fight is an annual art game. It starts on every July, and it lasts for a whole month. First thing you gotta do to participate is join a team. There's 2 teams in art fight. Before art fight had its own website, they hosted 4 art fights. The first art fight they hosted was Day versus Night, then Land versus Sea, then Pirates versus Ninjas. Then in 2013, Past versus Future. 2014, Zombie versus Hunters. 2015, Color versus Monochrome. Then in 2016, Magic versus Technology. 2017, Sun and Moon. 2018, Coffee and Tea. 2019, Dream and Nightmare. 2020, Sugar and Spice. 2021, Steampunk and Cyberpunk. 2022, Bloom and Wither. And last year, Vampire and Werewolves. And for this year, it's Seafoam versus Stardust. Can you guys guess which team am I? After you join a team, you basically do archery in one another. The idea is for you to quote-unquote attack artists by drawing their character. By doing this, you earn points for your team. The more attacks, the better. You will also get attacked by your rival team. If you want to attack them back, that's usually called revenge. Of course, if there's somebody you want to attack but's in the same team as yours, that would be considered as friendly fire. But you would get less points, so it's better to attack your rival team. And then, by the end of the month, we look up the results and see who's the winner. How does attacking work? First thing you gotta do is find who you want to attack. You can search up on social media and see who's participating. For example, look up if your favorite artist is doing art fight. What's great about art fight is that it's an excuse to draw someone else's character. So if you have a friend that's participating in art fight or an artist that you really admire, definitely attack them, especially if they're in a rival team. It's those really sweet interactions that lead you to have mutuals and friends. So I really recommend you guys to participate on art fight. Maybe you'll have a friend group or something. Before you start drawing, I really recommend you that you look at the categories for the attacks. First category are sizes. Sizes refer to how you draw the proportions. It's kind of like commissions. So there's headshot, half body, and full body. And then you choose if it's simple or detailed. There's also an option for you to say that the artwork is polished. What that means is that it took you a lot of time, effort, and a lot of pride in drawing it. So whenever you do a dedicated artwork, you should categorize it as polished. But if it's something that didn't really take you that long to do not put it as polished. Just be honest with yourself, because some people try to put it as polished just to get more points, and that will be considered as cheating. Now, the next step is to figure out what type of attacks you want to make. The most common ones are digital art and traditional art. Whether if it's digitally or traditionally, there's different options on how you drew the piece of artwork. There's rough sketch, clean sketch, line art or lineless. There's also rough colored, clean colored, painted, or not colored at all. There's minimal shading, fully shaded, and unshaded, as well as adding a background. So you could have no background, or a pattern / abstract, a minimal background, or a photo. You could also use props or make a whole design layout. It's really up to you how detailed you want it to be. Like I said before, the more polished and detailed, the better. But before you participate in art fight, you need to think on how many artworks you can produce in only 1 month, as long as how long it takes you to finish those artworks. You also gotta consider how much time and energy you have to put to make so many attacks. Your goal in art fight is to gain as many points as you can, right? My strategy is to do a mix of polished and simple artworks. You could organize it like this. First, find all the very interesting characters you want to draw and draw them detailed since they're the characters you like the most. Just do a few, so like 2 or 3. It depends on how your process is. If you can do more, do more. Then, find the most simple characters to draw. Try to find as many as possible. You need to try to draw as many as you can, hopefully to 3 to 5. This one is the one you should be drawing the most. If you manage to make a bunch, you can definitely give a lot for your team. It's really up to you which path you want to do. Most people either do a lot of attacks but simple art and characters, or polish artwork since they finish it super fast. That's also why people get tired of art fight pretty quickly. It's because in order to get many points, you need to draw pretty frequently. and it's easy to lose motivation, get art block, and overwork yourself, or simply get busy with real-life situations. I personally consider art fight to be an art challenge. It's very time and freaking based, but it is a little tamer than monthly art challenges if I'm being honest, since you can stop whenever you want. And it's more of a fun activity than a competition, so please don't overwork yourself or force yourself to continue. Anyways, please keep those things in mind before joining. On the positive note, a good reason you should join art fight, it's a great opportunity to create examples for your commission sheet. Of course, if you plan to do commissions after art fight. Next category are 3D models. The first thing that they ask is what base do you use? So you could use a Vroid or a 3D doll paint over, pre-made base, so something that you already did before, or made from scratch, or have no base. It also asks for texture, so none, photo / pre-made texture, so you use the photo for the texture or you use the existent texture in the program, or did you make the texture by yourself? It also asks if it's rigged or not, and again it asks you for the background, just like before. After that, we have artcraft. There's many categories you could do for artcraft. There's textile, which refers to plushies, soft dolls, embroidery, and knitting. You could also do clay or heavy material work, such as wood, glass, metal, maybe even leather. You could also do paint over or cosplay. What they mean by paint over is by using a doll and painting over the character. There's also food art, which refers to sculptures or baked foods of the character. It could also be a character drawn into a cake. There's also beadwork and brick build. This refers to Lego build, Minecraft sculptures, and for the beadwork, it refers to pearl beads. You could also do paper crafts, such as paper doll or origami. And again, it asks you for a background. And finally, we have animation. For animations, a bit complicated, but it's categorized like this: the amount of movement and the technique you use to animate it. Let's do the amount of movement. So you could do an animated background, so the surroundings move but not the character. You could do minimal animation, like eye blinking. Next one you could do is partial animation, so a loop of the character moving. You could also do mixed movement. I don't know what that means. Or fully animated. For technique of animation, you could do twinning, or 3D animation, animatic, live 2D rig, stop motion, and frame by frame. Here's some quick etiquette. When you receive an attack, make sure to leave a comment appreciating the work they just gave you. Now that you know how to tag people, let's build your profile. First thing to join Artfight is to make an account. Set your username and profile pic. For your bio, you structure it like this. So your nickname, pronouns, if you care about those, age. If you're underage, you can put it as -18 or minor. And if you're legal age, you can put adult or 18 plus. Why is it important to state this? It's because it's ideal to separate users from 18 plus and -18. After that, you start writing your Artfight format. Start by stating your preference on attacking. For example, for mine, is to draw furries and anthros, and sometimes humanoid, but I'm a bit picky. Then you can write if you want revenges or not. So for example, I put I'll try to revenge back. Same thing with friendly fire and chains. What are chains? Chains are basically when you attack somebody and they revenge you, and then you keep attacking them. That's basically a chain. So you guys keep attacking each other. I've never done that personally, but I think it would be pretty fun to do that. I'm not sure if it would be the same character or a different character, but either way, it's pretty fun to try it out. For example, for me, you could maybe do chains as long as the character isn't too complex or detailed. Last thing you should write is that if you want to be credited. So most of the time, when you get attacked, you want people to credit you if they're gonna repost your art. You can state what social media you want people to credit you. This is great for attracting more followers and direct people to your social media. So for example, I put my Newgrounds and Instagram account. Sometimes people don't want credit at all. So you could just say like, yeah, I don't want people to credit my art. And that's totally understandable too. By the way, there's sometimes an image template to write the same thing we just put, but with a more aesthetically pleasing look. It looks something like this. It's up to you which one you'd rather choose. I recommend you to do the image template before our fight starts. Character rules. Before you start uploading a character, you should first write your rules. These rules consist of do's and don'ts. The basic template is what you can draw and what you cannot draw. What you can draw: change outfit or hair, remove details, character interactions, etc. Whatever you want, honestly. What you can draw: do not alter the character too much, no NSFW or sexual content, no drugs or illegal content. All of these rules are personal preference, but I do advise that if you're a minor, always state that NSFW is not allowed. You can seriously put yourself in danger. by both drawing an SFW and receiving an SFW. My take on minors drawing an SFW is that you should always keep it private and never show it publicly, especially in the internet. If you're the type of artist that draws really risky stuff, I really advise you to look at the rules on Artfight. It's better that you know what is allowed and what is not allowed before getting banned. I also advise you guys to tag your things correctly. With that in mind, let's move on. I can show you guys what I put for my do's and don'ts for my characters. If you're unsure what to put, you can always copy mine. But again, it's all personal preference. For example, for mine, I put that you can change the character's outfit, have light or heavy gore, add or remove certain accessories, and change the hairstyle, for example, a ponytail. What you can draw. No NSFW content. No drugs or illegal content. Shipping my characters romantically with yours. Posting art of my characters in any social media, unless given permission first. Like I said before, it's all personal preference. I have these rules because it's what makes me comfortable. But just put whatever you want that doesn't break the rules of Artfight. Now, last thing you could put is notes. If you don't know who to ship, the description of the characters says who to ship. I also put if you're having trouble coming up with a pose or an outfit, DM me and I can give you some potential ideas for the character. And again, just let me know if you have any questions. Again, it's all personal preference on what you want to write, and this is what I put. You can copy paste what I wrote and change it a little bit. Like for example, it's understandable if people don't like gore at all or are okay with with drawing drugs and stuff. I mean, again, it's all personal preference. Now, let's arrange your characters. When you start uploading your characters into Artfight, the most important things are the reference and the description of the character. When it comes to making a ref, I always see people overcomplicating themselves, like doing a whole turnaround, adding outfits, making an expression sheet, writing stuff. Stop it! What most people need in a reference is just a full body. And if there's anything important, like a certain spot or whatever, include that. Don't be bothered rendering or shading or whatever. Most people just need a full body and the flat colors. But please do not clutter so much information in your reference, especially if you have too many characters and are running out of time. This includes description too. My solution is just to draw the full body of the character. Add anything that's important. Anything else can just be on the description of the character. Keep the character as flat as possible. If you need to add shading, always keep it to a minimal. For example, I here only added shading on the skin and a bit of the shirt. Anything else is unnecessary. For example, the hair, there's no need to add shading because it makes things a bit more complicated for the artist. Now, to write the character information, start off by writing their name, age or pronouns, the species if it's not human, write a little bit about the character, who they get along, if you want people to draw them interacting. For example, for Cotton, me, she's she and he, so she's gender fluid. She's a bear bunny. Yeah, I'm a bear bunny / shapeshifter. I put my birthday because I like writing those stuff. A little bit about her is that she's a teddy bear toy maker. She's a vintage toy collector and also likes building toys for herself. She's all about making plushies and toys that bring her nostalgic feeling. She loves surrounding herself with cuteness and pastel colors. She also has the ability to shapeshift her appearance, such as her ears and legs. I can show you guys real quick. I can change my ears. My bunny. I can also just have no ears. Her dearest friends are Slushy and Puka. Cotton treats Slushy like a young brother. She loves hosting tea parties and playing stuffed animals with him. See? Short and simple. So you do that with every character, and you should be good. If you want people to draw your character in different outfits, that's where the notes come in. Here's a different character to show you guys. For example, here I wrote that if you want her to wear a different outfit, you can just click on the link of my Pinterest where I collect all my cool clothes and just pick the edging ones. If that was too complicated, they can just draw her with a black shirt with a corn or Limp Bizkit or a Machine Girl graphic. So yeah, you can just write that to your character. Techniques on Artfight. What people usually do is that they either attack a lot of people individually, but what I have seen people do is that they do a whole ass drawing, including a lot of people, and it gets a lot of points pretty quickly, without necessarily making multiple attacks. And it doesn't really matter if it's super simple. As long as you're attacking a lot of people, you get a lot of points. Again, it's up to you which technique works for you. Whether you do half polish, half detail artworks, or you attack a lot of people in just one artwork. Whichever is fine, just don't overwork yourself. Please take care of your hands and sanity. Final notes. After watching this video, I hope you have these things in mind. Do not join with the mentality of receiving art only. Not every art fight you join, you will receive a lot of attacks. Sometimes you won't even receive any, or very little. Please do not have high expectations. This also goes with the mentality of drawing everything to make people happy, or receiving admiration for your work. All of these factors are gonna create problems for you. You should be doing art fight for yourself, building a good portfolio and skills. By the way, it's okay to stop art fight whenever you want. If you're tired or get busy in real life situation, that's completely fine. No one's going to judge you for that. You deserve a king. Another thing you guys should keep in mind is that art fight's still a bit underground. The website might go down or whatever. In that case, you need to prepare everything before July, because there might be a chance where it breaks down and you're unable to do those edits. If you want to know more details about those things, I recommend you joining their Discord. Another reason why it's also good to join their Discord is that you can find more people to attack. Anyways, just be patient, take care of yourself, and have fun. If you don't know who to attack, you can always attack me. But do note that I'm a bit picky with humans, so I prefer drawing furries. That's all. Bye!